welcome to day 3 of your daily wellness, and today our focus is crow's pose. So crow's pose is a balance, but again, like with yesterday, we can go towards the balance and then just stop where suits you. I will advise that you have a cushion ready, at least one if you are going to attempt for one of the balances, because you will face plant into the floor, but only from a few inches away from it. So you should be fine. If you have bad neck, bad wrists, just don't go to the full extent of the balance, so we're not putting all the weight on the wrists, and if you do face plant, you're not going to strain your neck. So you know your body, you know where you want to go with it. So to begin with, we're going to settle in. I'm going to do this sideways for a moment. So you can leave your socks on if you're cold today for most of it. I want you to plant the feet about hip distance apart. Take a moment to lengthen up and just rest the hands on the knees. Feel your belly expand and contract. Feel that compression, that's the word. Feel the compression through the belly as you inhale and expand, exhale and get that contraction. And I want you to try with each inhale to just sit up a little taller. You can use a block if you need to use a block here. Start to take shoulder blades down the spine, gently tuck in the chin. Good, and then bring the hands to the floor behind. Again, here placing the feet down as you inhale, open the chest, look up. As you exhale, allow the body to curve, chin to chest. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chin to chest. It's actually really hot here next to the fire. Inhale, look up. And exhale, bring it in, chin to chest. Good, and then from there, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Sit up nice and tall. Don't worry too much about pulling the feet in or opening the legs. We're just getting warmed up. So I want you to sit up and take a little rook side to side. So we're just starting to wake up and open up a little bit through the hips and get a little bit of length through the spine, get the body moving. So we've got the space to work into our crow's pose. Good, lifting the feet up, planting them hip or shoulder distance, hands behind. We're going to roll the legs to one side and then bring them in, roll them across to the other side. Take a few repetitions one way and the other. Don't worry, you will kind of roll down the mat as you do it. Good, and then once again coming into this seated position, taking the feet a little wider. Lengthen up through the spine. Use this elbow on knee to just give you a little bit of something to pull into, to give you a bit of length. Press the feet firmly into the mat, shoulders back and down. And maybe we start to walk the feet in a little as the hips open. So we imagine your happy baby sensation through your hips as we're kind of taking knees to the side and bringing the body sort of in between the knees. So we're just opening through the hips, through the groin area and through the chest. Good, and then we're going to take the hands underneath so they can rest on the floor to begin with. You can thread them through. If you get far enough, you can bring elbows to the back of the legs. This is going to actually curve the spine and hunch you over. It's also going to open up through the hips and start to create this coming together, this strength in the front of the body, which is also what we need to focus on. So get this hunch over, abdominals are locked in and up as you come over, working to a level that suits you. So you can take hold of the feet, You can rest the hands on the floor. You can, even if you want to, start working on a little balance and come up into a balance here. It's completely your choice. Feet can be apart or together. And then gently unwind. Good. From there, come onto all fours. Spread your fingers wide, so take them super wide, like we've done in the last 2 sessions, pressing into the back of every knuckle, into this bit here, right around the palm, really getting that firm foundation. And then from here, we're going to keep the toes tucked, knees on the floor. We're just going to take it forwards and back. Now the instinct here when you come forwards is to kind of lift the palm heel. When you come back, the fingers will get a bit loose. So try and keep it pressed down. So even when you come forwards, press into the palm heel, into the top of the knuckles and right down into the fingertips. Stay strong and keep pressing all the way down as you come back and forwards. Good, and then we come onto all fours, tuck the toes, lift up a little. So we're lifting up just a couple of inches, just to start to create this sensation of pushing through the floor, this grounding into the floor. We're going to get a little bit of squeeze through the chest and this almost slight opening up of the shoulder blades. So lifting up, and if you need to, you can take it down, reset, lift up again, or you can just hold now for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down. Take a moment to rotate. Oh, this fire's really hot. Rotate through the wrists. Good. Next, if you want to, you can use a block or 2 blocks. So I've got one here, or a book or 2 books under your heels. Or if you have the space, you can bring the heels down to the floor. Whichever option you're doing, take your choice, take your pick. Feet should be maybe hip distance. If you need to take them wider, you can. If you can bring them together, again, you can. Allow the arms to rest on the knees. This is almost here your crow's pose, but obviously not on the balance. Good. Rock it forwards. Up onto the toes. If you're on a block, just try and take a little tilt off your block. Start to get a sensation of this balance, this point where you could easily rock forwards, you could easily rock backwards, but we're trying to work on getting the spine in alignment, using your TVA, your internal abdominals, to find that point. And breathe. Okay, take one more deep breath. Good, and then place the hands down. Spread the fingers, so really important is hand placing in these balances. Press with the hands. We're going to lift up a little bit, so we're kind of in this weird froggy pose. So we're just getting used to taking a bit of weight on the hands. Lift up. Kind of frog pose, little bends in the elbows, take it back, almost like a little pulses. Get here, have a little pulse. One more time, 3 little pulses, lift up and pulse. Strong arms, strong chest. If you need to, take a few wrist rolls. Spread the fingers, tuck the toes, lift up to downwards facing dog. Take a moment to just walk it through. Pressing into the back of every knuckle, bring it forwards into plank pose. Feel that slight doming through the back. This view that you can see in your plank pose is the view that you're aiming for when we come into our crow's pose balance. Take a little movement if you want to, again, get into connection with that sensation, because in your crow's pose you will wobble and you'll go side to side. You need to have that strength through your hands. So take in another breath or two in your plank. Bit of movement if you want it. And then walk your feet to the top of your mat into a forward fold anyhow that you want. Hang for a moment. Separate the feet about hip distance or halfway between hip or shoulder distance. From there, bend the knees, send the tailbone back. Reach the hands forward into chair pose. Lengthen forwards, chin is tucked. Hips are kind of opening, thinking happy baby. Shoulders back and down. Sit back for 3, 2, 1. Keep that kind of angle on your spine. Bring the hands down. Feet are coming close. Knees are coming to the top of the arms. Good. Take a moment to get that connection. Take a little rock, a little bit of movement. Good, and then we're going to roll up. So as we come down into our first attempt at crow's pose, again, just go as far as works for you. Thinking, grounding, using every finger like we use our toes to stabilize the wobble, the back of every knuckle. Think about compensating for the movement. Thinking about locking the core in for that balance and the spinal position. Okay, so again, coming as if we're going through chair pose, send the butt back and down. Reach the hands forwards, and then as you exhale, place them down. Yeah, so you may need to practice and adjust the width. From here, we bring the arms and the knees together. Try and get the knees right up high. Walk the feet back a little so we're coming onto tippy toes. If this is where you're at today, this is where you're at, okay? So there's no shame in just stopping there. That is still, you're going to feel it in the hands, you're going to feel it in your core. Otherwise we can start to lift the tailbone, lifting one foot and the other. Again, if that's where you're at, that's where you're at. Also, it's worth noting that you will feel almost bruised on the back of your arms, because you do have to push quite firmly with knee to arm, arm to knee to get that solid connection, which will then form a solid grounding. And this is where I just keep face planting, because I actually can't do crow's pose properly, or I can do it but not for very long. So spread in the hands, knees onto the back of the arms, lift it up, abs are in, and we practice lifting up. And you will always face plant the cushion. That is why I said get cushions and not to do it if you have a bad neck. It will take months for some people, even years. Some people will never be able to do the balance because they don't have the space and they don't do enough work on the space. So if you want to practice this, these are the steps. Don't worry if you're not there. Don't worry about how many times your face hits the pillow. It's normal. We'll have another attempt together for those of you that are going for the full one, or just take it as far as you want. Spread the fingers. Accept the face plant. Enjoy the face plant. It's very humbling to fall over. Yoga isn't just about success. It's about the journey and enjoying that journey and enjoying the silliness. Okay, knees to the back of the arms, tailbone up. Looking down into your cushion. Slowly lifting the feet. Abs are in, use the core to lift. So kind of like with the headstand where we lift from the core rather than trying to kick up. Last little attempt. 3, 2, 1, and release. Good, now take a moment to give the back of your arms a little rub. They should be a bit sore if you've been doing it right, that connection. It does hurt a little. Take a few putting on your jackets through the elbows. And interlace the fingers and take a little roll through the wrists. Maybe some Mexican wave through the fingers. And maybe even some little movement through the neck, side to side or over the shoulders. Now you can carry on practicing for as much as you want, or maybe that's all you want to do today. Maybe you want to kind of add these videos together or create a little workout of your own from these videos. That's up to you. So that was crow's pose for day 3. So let's see what we're going to have tomorrow. Hopefully a nice easy one, following headstand and crow's pose. I feel like an idiot when I keep falling over. Okay. Tomorrow we have side plank. So again, like all the poses, remember there are options. There will always be the full version, lower options, preparation, and alternatives. So thank you for joining me. Namaste. Good work in trying whatever level you got to in your crow's pose. I hope you enjoyed watching me fall over at least. And I'll see you again tomorrow. I don't know if I said namaste. Namaste again for your next dose of daily wellness.